Hello and welcome to the WordCamp Insights podcast. This year, WordCamp Europe is happening in Krakow, so our mascot is a dragon, like a Vavel dragon. Some of the questions are quite malicious, but this episode will be a little bit brief because we have a super special guest. My name is Kasia Janoska. I am WordCamp organizer, and my guest today is...
I'm Anita.
Hi, Anita, and what do you do concerning WordCamp?
Well, I'm a volunteer this year. I applied for it because I thought, wow, support the community again. And it worked out very well. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you're a volunteer. You're not here in the organizing crew the entire time. So the conversation would be super interesting from my perspective, at least, because this is like completely other point of view. But first, let's start from the beginning. Tell me, what was your first WordCamp ever that you attended like normally as an attendee?
My first WordCamp was 2022 in the beautiful city of Porto in Portugal. And I really slided in right as a volunteer. So I never attended really. Yeah. Was quite funny because my partner, he was part of the organizers. And I was so inspired because I saw how he supported the team and how really nice the people were there. So it was a lot of fun for him. And he was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I thought, well, I was so inspired. So I said, well, I apply as a volunteer so we can have this experience together. And well, it worked out very well there too. So that's how I got into the WordCamp Europe.
Well, that's such an original story. And
Yeah.
what were you doing there? What was your role as a volunteer?
Yes. In the beginning, I was at a shift where you walk around the event area and you are helping people that have questions, that need directions, or any sort of support. But it turned out that many people knew already where they're going and what to do and where to find stuff. So we were quite a few volunteers walking around in the area, being there for support. And then I just asked if there is another team that needs maybe more support or help. And that was the case. So I went to the team that was responsible for the registrations. So that was so much fun. I really loved it because then you see the excitement of the attendees coming. Oh, I have my ticket and where's the welcome gift? Oh, so it was really nice seeing all these happy people coming and enjoying
Yay!
WordCamp Europe.
And do you know what your role will already be this year?
No, I applied again for the registration team and the SWAT team, I think it's called. But so far, I don't know yet.
Okay, so it's still a mystery
A
to
mystery, it's a
everyone.
mystery, yeah.
But I wanted to ask you because you did not have a lot to do during your shift, as you said. But how long were your shifts? Did you have to work the entire day, or you
Oh,
had some time to
no.
enjoy?
I really have to say that I don't know exactly. I think it was a 4-hour shift 2 times. But I'm not really sure. But it's not that you have to be a volunteer there for all the time and all
Hmm.
the hours and all the days. So it's not. So, and if I remember right, you had a certain attempt to choose that you say, okay, I would love to do it in the morning or in the afternoon, but it was just to a certain extent. So I'm not sure really how, if it's different in the different events. So it was just in Porto like this. I don't know if it's the same way this year. So we will see.
Yeah, probably it is the same, I would guess, because at least for us organizers, this I have an experience with. We also have a little shifts during the event, but we could choose during which time we are there on the spot for social media, because I'm from the comms team, so we are responsible also for the social media. And we had to choose, okay, this time I will be like on the spot, taking all the pictures and posting stuff to social media. But I want to see this and that presentation. So yeah, I need someone else to cover.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of, it's, I mean, I think it's complicated because you have so many volunteers that have to be organized. And what if it's happening with the organizers because you are also a lot, So, but I thought it's amazing how they organize them and how you still be able to choose a little bit of your spot. So it's like, it's amazing how that works actually.
And have you taken a look at the schedule for this year already? Are you interested in anything that you know, oh, I need this time for myself?
Well, no, not yet, because I wanted to wait first till I know what's my, let's say, position where I am
Yeah.
at and how is it organized, and then choose to see some talks or maybe workshops. Last time there were so many interesting workshops,
Mhm.
but everybody wanted to go to them. So it's like, oh, we see how that works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you recall working as a volunteer, could you point out any rewarding moment that you had besides the behind the scenes that, you solved some fire or solved some issue that the attendees had no idea that the issue even happened and you were the hero there?
Well, not really, because when you're at the shift walking around and helping, it's really nothing where is a fire to put out, and also at the counter where you give tickets and stuff. But I know it's quite a challenge to organize people getting to the food. So when it comes to
Yeah.
breakfast or lunchtime, many attendees want to eat at the same time. They are hungry and they want to get to the food as fast as possible. So I know those volunteers have quite some challenges, but I think this is nothing that you cannot handle. Let's say it like this. But it's what I heard and saw. That was the most challenging place, to be in for a volunteer.
Yeah,
The
I can
food, the
imagine.
food.
You were there for the very first time as a
Mhm.
volunteer. How did it go to be like onboarded, to even start? Who told you what to do? Were you like overwhelmed, or was it so well put out that it was, yeah, okay, I know what to do?
Well, first of all, I found it amazing how many volunteers really were there. We got together, and some of the organizers said, well, you wait here and then you will go on a tour through the event, so you know where everything is, where the workshops are, where the talks are and stuff. So then we were shown around, and after that you were pointed to your specific teams. And I thought it was really well organized. I think they did it before, the ones who did it in Porto, and we got all the information we needed. And yeah, I was just amazed how many volunteers there really are. Because when you have this meeting before the event starts, you all go as a big group, because after that, you don't see them again, because some of them are at lunchtime, some of them are over there. So it's like they really spread out through the whole WordCamp area. Oh yeah, quite many. But it's really, really good organized. You will not get lost or stay there with questions. And even if you have special questions or you want to need something, or there are always people there to help and to answer your questions. It's
Nice.
very, yeah, very.
And when we were on specific questions or maybe strange questions, you worked at the registration and like straight with people on the floor, let's say. Have you heard any like, what is the strangest question or task that you had during being a volunteer during that time?
Well, usually you would think there's nothing really going on, and there were really no special requests and stuff. But I remember an Indian guy coming with two friends, but they all had 10 tickets together. So it's three of them with 10 tickets. And he's like, oh, I'm here to pick up all the WordCamp gifts.
Yeah.
This year it was a bottle, drinking bottle. And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I thought, oh, where do you have all these tickets from? Because of course you're three and you have 10 tickets. You say, oh, yeah, yeah. My colleagues, they couldn't come because they didn't get a visa to come over to Europe. So I remember that still, because it was like, he was so nice and kind. He said, I want to bring them at least something from the WordCamp so they have something to remember. And so it was really a thing that I still remember, but it's nothing like, oh my gosh, that was the strangest request or, stuff like that.
Yeah, but that
So
was so cute and kind, actually.
yeah, I thought they were really nice. So in the end, they got their 10 bottles.
Oh, they had to have a big luggage to take 10 bottles in one suitcase.
Yes. I mean, there were three of them. So I guess they split it out into
Oh,
the
yeah, true.
suitcases. Yeah, but it's nice. And I mean, it's amazing because there you have people from all over the world. So it's really amazing, actually.
And was the year 22 your last year of being volunteer on WordCamp?
Yes. Yes.
So what drives you this year to, redo the experience?
Well, first of all, it's a lot of fun to do it. And the second thing is that WordCamp Europe is taking place in a different city, different country every year, which is amazing. So you get to know new cultures, areas, cities you can explore. Well, a couple of years have passed and all the world is so fast and there's so many new topics and so many interesting areas to explore, like with the AI, for example. I think that's a big topic. So it's nice to get, access to knowledge the speakers share or in the workshops. And when I was there the first time, I'm still in contact with people I met there from the volunteers team. And they always ask, "Are you coming to next year? I'm coming to next year." And I'm like, "Oh no, because I have different plans and I can't." So it's also to see all those people again, So it's the knowledge, the fun, the new city, and I mean, it's a whole package actually.
Yeah. So those are less obvious perks, like side effects of being a volunteer, that you get new friends and you can see new spot and so on. And what other things do you get as a volunteer? Do you get anything special apart from the things that attendees get?
No, not really. I mean, it's very nice that people are so thankful, the attendees. That's really something that's very nice because everybody's just very thankful. When you help, yeah, the benefit is when you help and support the community, you get a free ticket to the event, which is very nice. And you get access to the food too. I know there is a question if we get more food as volunteers, but no, we don't. It's like we have to get
Aw,
in line. When we are hungry, we also have to get in line like everybody else.
that's true. I got this question. If
Yeah.
volunteers get more food than attendees, it's a
No,
rolling question in the community.
no, we don't. We don't. Also, as I said before, when you are really interested in a talk or in a workshop, you have the possibility, if that works out with your shift, to attend. So, I mean, it's a big event. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of connections and friendships now over the years in the long term, and also corporations. So it's very nice actually to be part of this event.
And for this year, it already is too late to sign up to be a volunteer, but
Mhm.
next year's WordCamps will be happening. So if you were to tell someone who is considering but is not sure, would you recommend being a volunteer? What would you tell to them to invite them to be a volunteer?
Well, I would recommend to try to be a volunteer because this way you get first to see behind the scenes. You will see all the organization that is going on behind, and it's a lot. And it starts many months before. So you get the connections with people if you are a people person. Of course, if you are like someone, not comfortable with big crowds or with working in teams. So that's probably not the right position to apply for. But other than that, yeah, you have access to the whole WordCamp Europe event, and you get to know really nice people. Yeah, it's try it. It's worth it, I would say.
So I've also heard some concerns from people that, for example, their English is not absolutely perfect, and that means they wouldn't be suitable for the role of the volunteer.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
No, because first of all, I think most of the volunteers do not have English as their first language doing those WordCamps, and the same applies for the attendees. So I think a very few percentage is really from England or the US attending and speaking perfectly English. So I would say English is not. I mean, yeah, you should have the skills to get around and to fit into teams and to communicate in teams, but it doesn't have to be perfect at all. And the second thing is you would support with your, let's say you're from Spain, and then a lot of people coming to the WordCamp Europe camp are Spanish speaking. So you could, even with your own first language, help people out at the event. So that's actually kind of nice, that you have your first language where you can support and help people at the event. And English, yeah, if you get around a bit, it's it's enough. You don't have to be perfect and speak perfectly English. I think in the podcast so far, you could see it's like, I don't speak perfectly English. Maybe you not, it's like, yeah, it's not, but you have to get around a bit and that's enough.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I am not sure if we have more than 3 people, even in the organizing team, whose first language is English. Everyone is like, let me think about that word. I don't remember it. How was it? Can you help me?
Yeah. If you get around, nobody expects that maybe if you are apply for a speaker, you should, you know, have a certain level of English, but to be a volunteer, if you can get around, that's no
Enough.
problem at all. Yeah.
Nice. And another concern I keep hearing from attendees, volunteers, organizers, and so on is that you have to be like a tech savvy person, have to be kind of developer and very into WordPress to even connect to this community. What would you say about that?
No, especially if you're a volunteer, you don't need any developer skills or or tech knowledge,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think there it's more important to have communication skills, to be nice and friendly. I think that's the most important. Just imagine you go to the supermarket and you see someone, like
Yeah.
you wouldn't like to go there for buying your stuff. So it's the same at the WordCamp. If you're happy and nice and you show that to the people, then that's all you need. As a volunteer, I would say.
And what do you do in your after WordCamp hours? Is it any kind of connected to WordPress?
Well, a little bit because I work for UP Casa, which is an ecosystem for real estate websites. What I do there is I do the content and marketing, but I use the back end a
Mhm.
lot, and I'm very comfortable with it, and it's very easy to use. So it's part of my daily life for preparing a blog post or documentations or whatever that is, besides of the social media. So I'm very, very familiar with WordPress and I can create pages and whatever, but I would not be able probably to really develop or program a full functional website that needs an online store or whatever. So, yeah, and a part of that, I am focusing on opening a co-living space in Spain
Ooh.
with my partner, which is amazing. That's the focus right now for all the remote workers and digital nomads to, build them a space where they can come disconnect. And that's a really big project at the moment, and we are very excited when it's going.
So nice. Let me know
We
when it's
think the
ready.
opening will be summer 2027, we hope. So a big project.
And as it comes to people who come to volunteer to WordCamp, we know they do not have to have perfect English. They do not have to be a very tech person. They do not have to focus on WordPress all day long, all the time. But is there anything that you would say to someone, oh no, it's not a role for you? Like, would you discourage any kind of people to be volunteers?
But I would say that's maybe at the point I said before, if you don't like big crowds, because there are a lot of people around attending, and also in the teams, in the volunteer teams, organizer teams, it's just a big, big event. Many, many people attend. So if you are afraid of, yeah, first of all, it's a big, if you're afraid of big crowds, do not do it. If you are afraid of the English, if you really feel uncomfortable or unsure, really, 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 then I would say, well, maybe then it's not really your thing. But as I said before, nobody is looking for someone perfectly speaking English. So, and the next thing is, if you don't want to work in teams, I would say, because it's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's not one position where you just need one person,
Mm-hmm.
that can
Yeah.
be, or maybe if because there are smaller groups. I think I was very surprised when I was shown around as an attendee the first time that there was also an area available for people with special needs, like for wheelchairs and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought, wow, they really make sure everybody can attend this event. And maybe that's smaller crowds, but then you need to have a passion, or let's say, you know, to want to work with people or help people with special needs, for example. But it's more a more quiet area there. But yeah, I would say as a volunteer, you just mm, need, or you just have to want it, to want
Mm-hmm.
to support, to want to communicate. And it doesn't matter what background you have, as I do it. If you're open-minded, if you're a happy person, if you work good in teams, then I think it's no problem. There's no reason why you shouldn't
So
apply.
basically, I will say it very weirdly, we cannot cross out anyone actually from signing
No,
up to be a volunteer because, well, not very much is needed from you, like as a
yeah,
tech skills or hard skills
no,
or anything.
no, no, not really. No, maybe if you have tech skills, but then I think you would more go into the
Mhm.
speaker section. If you really have something to share, if you really have technical knowledge that is worth sharing, then it would be more the speakers you should apply. But I know there are many speakers, many people who want to be speakers. So
True.
I know.
And
Lots of knowledge to share.
I can tell you because I already can see that there are people who are speakers who used to be volunteers or used to be speakers, and this year they will be volunteers. So it is completely interchangeable in the community. And we are not dividing people into like straight groups. You once were a volunteer, you
No,
stay there
no,
forever. No.
no. No, I mean, you develop yourself, from every year, and then your interests changes. So maybe you don't want to be a volunteer anymore because you want to be on the stage and just share your amazing knowledge with everybody. So yeah. Or the other way around, you're not tired of being a speaker and you say, oh, you know what? I just help at the food
Yeah.
and help to organize all the hungry attendees.
You want something challenging? Go to the food. So, as in life, like being a waiter, it's probably the hardest job you can do, at least in my opinion.
I mean, it was really amazing because in Porto they had different food stations prepared because I don't remember how many people were attending, but it was a lot. So to divide the crowds to different areas, but really it's like they know, let's say at 12, that's lunchtime. So everybody at 12 goes to the
Yes.
places and wants food. So it's very, very well organized because they know what's coming.
Yeah.
It was really, for what I heard, it was one of the challenging things, the food.
And when we are on the note of we know what's coming, you're coming to Krakow. Were you ever been there before? So it's your first time. Do you already have your bucket list of things that you also want to see besides the magnificent venue that we have?
Well, I really enjoy getting to know a city, really, really a city, because when I looked it up, I said, let's see what can we do there. So I will stay in town, get to know to the heart. And what we usually do, we do what the locals do. So we look where do the locals go, to which restaurant, or what museums and whatever. I'm very, very, very excited to get to know. I mean, I love Poland because as a child, I was with the canoe going through the Masuren.
So
It was
nice.
amazing. So it's a really beautiful country, and I'm really, really looking forward
Yay,
to be there.
exciting. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for answering all my questions. And do you have anything else to add that I haven't asked?
Well, I would just say try to apply as a volunteer. Have fun, and if you don't get picked, we'll try again next year. And if not, well, just attend because it's an amazing event and so much work is behind it, and so many people do so many amazing things to make it work. So, and just enjoy, I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. Just come and enjoy and see, especially the food shifts. Now I will take a closer look
Oh
at
my
the
God.
hard work of volunteers who are pointing us out on every direction. And yeah, remember to come to buy your ticket. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to this podcast because this season is slowly nearing to the end. So you will miss next episode if they appear if you do not subscribe. Remember to do that. And of course, please comment this episode and tell us if you would like to be a volunteer. And if you would, then imagine which shift or which role would you like to do the most? Because there are many roles of volunteers. So, one word. What kind of volunteer would you like to be? Please comment here. And to the next time. Bye.
Bye.